Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, we are going to be reacting to the Tethergeist speed run, the world record currently. There actually aren't as many runs as I thought was going to happen. A little background on me, I just completed the game like 100%. So now I'm going to react to the speed run. I have not seen anything about it. Like, I've intentionally not watched any of the speedrun stuff in preparation for this so I can like blind react to it. So I'm gonna see. Wow, it is very quiet. Alright, let's see. What the heck is that? How is he doing that? I know you could do that with the green one. I didn't know you could do it with the yellow. I'm pretty sure I tried that, but I guess I didn't. I'm gonna have to go into Tethergeist after and figure that out. Maybe it's only after you tether downwards or something? Hmm. Yeah, going all the way over there. Skipping the checkpoint so you have an extra tether. And you keep it here. Pretty good. Nothing crazy so far. Just going like really quickly. Gotta figure out how to do that. Whoa, that was cool. How do you do that? Smuggling an extra tether here. I guess for speed here. I would assume. Now you keep an extra tether here as well. Oh, is that faster than doing the speed thing? Is just tethering to the right, I guess. That's why you did that? Yeah, we can just skip the cutscene. Must have the music set really low. And then like the sound effects set high. No, he's just snap jumping. Since you don't need any of the atropa. What is that? What is the Oh my god, wait. That's so cool. I think he did the tether thing and then activated the cuts like the text box and he kept his speed through that? Wait, that was so cool. Do it again somewhere else. That's definitely a glitch. And a pretty cool one as well. I think he also skipped like the whole cutscene with like the elders and the binding, right? Like he literally just went over the trigger for all of that, huh? Hmm, that was really cool. Wee. That looks fun to do. Smuggled an extra flower there. Didn't take the checkpoint. Oh, he grabbed that one. Probably unintentionally. that is true. You can intentionally skip the checkpoints because checkpoints in this game remove whatever stored tethers you have. So if you jump over them, you get to keep them, but it's also like higher risk because if you die, you go back further, right? But the chapters and like the level design of Tethergeist is pretty linear, so there aren't very many branching paths or anything. That was a good chain. Oh, he almost died. When I first like this run is about what, an hour long? Hour and 10 minutes? 108.86. When I was originally playing through the game, I thought the world record would be around like 45, 50 minutes. So that's probably around, like, I believe it'll probably get to that point at some point. The thing about this game is you are kind of limited, because whenever you use the tether ability, like, you lose whatever speed you have, right? So it is slowed down quite a bit just because of that. I can't tell if he's using the fast tether or not. Okay, he definitely is. So I do think it's true that if you have a lot of speed into your tether, like the tether ghost will also have like a quicker movement speed. I don't know if you keep the speed out of it once you end the tether. I don't know, maybe at some point in the run he'll be going really fast and we can try and confirm that. So it's kind of hard to tell. Straight through, nice. Straight through again. So he's actually minimizing the amount of tethers he has to do in total, and that will save time. That's pretty cool. Doop, doop. Oh, that's the first death. It's only been like, what, a couple weeks since the game came out or something, so very understandable that it's not perfect yet. Alright, pretty good departure. Now, Fungal Forest. This will be interesting. Because I don't... Like, this section seems like it's fun to speedrun, because you have to be creative on how you use the jellyfish abilities. And it's also pretty difficult to use, because, like, the slightest angle change on the jellyfish will change where you go. And I'm also very curious to see if there's any secret speedrunning tech or not for the jellyfish. Because I couldn't find any on my playthrough. So far, nothing crazy. Other than the occasional snapping to preserve some speed. Nice. Seems pretty normal so far. Okay, that's like the first kind of unique skip. Where you go through if you hug the wall, go through the wall, and do like the speedrun tech, you can skip one of the jellies. Oh, and you can just immediately leave. If you don't want any of the Atropas. Okay. Nice. I wonder if they've memorized. Who is they? Maglore 9000, who has the world record right now. I wonder if Maglore has memorized every single room yet and like knows exactly what to do for each of them yet. Or if they're simply just sight reading a lot of this. It does look sight readable for sure in these early stages. I guess you just want to try and jellyfish as horizontal as possible to get as much speed as possible. Probably the plan. They missed the thing there. Whoop. Very nice. Pretty standard gameplay so far. Oh, it's also worth noting that Tethergeist is different than a game like Celeste, where if you die and respawn, the positions of all the enemies don't get reset, so they just kind of continue their path where they were before. And so you don't have like the death cycles and like the room entry cycles. It like depends when you die, so you can't really plan for all of those kind of cycles. Maybe that'll get changed at some point. Are they gonna do the speed again? Nope. I wonder why that happened in the first chapter. The Shellwood's already done. Forest Depths is just more. Could be more of the same jellyfish, but we have these cycles now to worry about. Nice. I'm surprised you can't like keep the speed. I think the speed just gets killed every time. Smuggling a yellow here. We can do that. Okay, that's pretty cool. Nice. Nice. Going through some of those sulfur bubbles. I guess the hitbox is kind of lenient. Extending the tether as far as possible. It is a thing where if you like max out your tether right in the middle of the wall, it'll put your tether on the other side, so you can like maximize your distance that way, which is pretty useful. This room's kind of hard. I'm sure that one required some practice. Nice. Didn't grab the jelly, instead just using a snap jump. That must be faster because whenever you use a jellyfish ability, like Mao does freeze in place of it, so that loses time. That is also a concern the developers of Celeste definitely had, is that using a dash like freezes the game for a bit. Like whenever you press dash, the game freezes for I think a couple frames. They're called freeze frames, and Maddie Thorson and the Celeste developers were definitely worried that people would try and not dash in order to avoid these freeze frames in scenarios, which is like clearly not something you want to have in your game if you're trying to like have a good speed run. Like dashing is fun, so you should be incentivized to do it as much as possible. So what they did is that the freeze frames from the dash also freeze the timer. So going by in-game time, you don't lose any time from the freeze frames of dashing. And actually any freeze frames also freeze the timer, which is pretty cool. So I wonder if Tethergeist would have something similar. The in-game aim timer is below in the bottom left. So 13 minutes in right now. Don't know what it looks like. Also in Celeste, Celeste is a 60 FPS game. I think Tethergeist is as well. Ooh, that was a cool skip. So because Celeste is a 60 FPS game, each frame would be worth 0.0166667 of a second. But that's kind of weird for the in-game timer, so the Celeste developers made it 0.017 every single second. So like the timer literally just increases by 0.017 every single frame instead. So the timer runs slightly faster than normal, and that's offset a bit by the freeze frames not increasing the timer. Wow, that barely hit the jellyfish there. When you can keep the speed with the bouncy. That's kind of cool. So yeah, the timer runs slightly faster than real time, except it pauses whenever you freeze frame, and I think that's meant to like offset it a bit, so it's like pretty much around the same amount. So I wonder if the guy's also doing something cheeky with the in-game timer. Alright, almost through the fungal forest, surely. Yeah, here we go. I wonder if jumping increases your speed or not. Or if it doesn't matter if you're jumping or not on flat ground. Oh, that was cool. Just skip all the gameplay by doing the speedrun tech. Same there. And you keep a jelly so you don't have to go in that wall. Then you can use the yellows here. Ah, that's pretty cool. I think he went for the speedrun tech there, but he wasn't quite close enough to the wall to get it. I'm not sure if there's like air resistance as well, because now that I'm picturing it, whenever you do the speedrun tech and go fast and like bounce off a jelly, you're never really losing your... Oh, there we go. Back to the cutscenes. Wow, okay, so it looks like while you're in a cutscene, you also have like half gravity or something. As you can see, Mao was just slowly descending at an angle instead of like the usual gravity that Mao has. At least I think. Now, there is speedrun tech with these things that I discovered. I haven't seen them use it yet. What you have to do is you hold a jump at the end of these, and then if you snap, you'll do like a big boost. Like that. There we go. So I guess when you're constrained in space, there isn't really room to do it. Also, you can only do it if it's your last one. So if you have multiple of these, you can't do it unless it's like your last one that you use. Because you gotta snap out, right? Good angle. This seems like a fun section to speedrun. Because it's very fast paced. Okay, yeah, you can skip the wheel by just doing that. Each of these wheels can launch you at 8 different possible angles. was something you had to figure out in the playthroughs, that it had to be one of those 8 angles where the scopes are. Which makes things a lot simpler. Which is probably a good thing. Yeah, doing these right away, of course. Oh, you probably could have snapped there. Maybe they wanted the checkpoint because this is a difficult screen. Yeah, these red ones, I call them like the chili peppers. They also, like after the tether is done, they give you like a big speed boost. So it's actually faster to minimize the amount of time you're spent in the tether, and then the speed boost itself can like give you a bunch of speed. Nice. These pipes hitboxes are much bigger than you would think, so these are actually some pretty tight jumps I'm doing. Alright. Manipulating which direction it's rotating on these like crane things. What's it trying to do? Oh, okay. Add an extra pepper there. Nice. And this room you just kind of have to spam to the right constantly. One death, pretty clean, pretty clean. So yeah, in this section you have these like little switches you gotta hit with the chili peppers. You actually like the oracle of your astral projection will actually snap to them, make it a bit easier to hit, but you don't actually need it to snap in order to hit them. You just gotta be like around the area, so I think later on in this section he'll be using this, like going past the button and then probably like hitting multiple at once. Going backwards, because you gotta hit that, and go up here. Okay. Well, maybe it's just easier to hit all 3 of them normally. Very clean, very clean. Mm-hmm. one you just have to exit at the right angles. Mm-hmm. Rocket jump, I think, is what that tech is called. Oh, you can skip the cutscene with foil air just by simply walking to the right. So because they're not getting any Atropas, they're not going to get the true ending of the game. And in my first playthrough, I actually did get the true ending first try, so I guess I'm about to see what the ending looks like without the true ending. It's kind of interesting. These pipes suck. They have a giant hitbox. What, like that? Not quite the angle I wanted. There we go. Can a rocket jump really not make? I also have to imagine with the regular tether speedrun tech, it seems like you need to like press down right, kind of like a wave dash. That was weird. But it also means that if you mess up the tech, then you just immediately do a tiny dash to the down right, and that will usually kill you. So it is kind of like a high risk, high reward. But I haven't seen them mess it up yet. Very nice. Ooh, I just realized the next section might be pretty cool. Because you got the butterfly that bounces around. And there's probably some crazy angles you could work at. We're at the Fount of Souls, guys. Oh, that was a Forgotten City. I lied. Upper Ruins. Here we go. This is probably a crazy section. I wonder if you want to let it bounce as far as possible before teleporting, because it travels faster than Mao would regularly on the ground. I would assume so. You can like try and maximize that sort of thing. Oh, maybe not. I guess it also depends on the angle and how much it's bouncing. Something like that. This section I also think is the hardest section. It's the section I died to the most out of all of them. So I wonder if that will have an effect. Okay. If these butterflies ever go off the screen, then they will simply just disappear and you won't be able to teleport. So you gotta keep that in mind. Also, it is kind of annoying how they, like, when they're bouncing around, Mao will slowly descend. And so you actually can't use it if you're close to the spikes. It's kind of annoying. Yep, and you can, they keep you in the tethered state for a little longer even after they hit something, which allows you to do another tether without like falling or anything or having to do it super quickly. Smuggling one here, I assume just to do that. Save some time. Very cool. Lots of bunking. Oh, really? Okay. You can just make that jump, and then you don't have to switch the state back again, which saves some time. Uh-oh. Kinda cool. I'm surprised there hasn't really been any major sequence breaks from getting like a crazy angle with the bouncing. But I guess the fact that it just disappears when it goes off screen is like super limiting. Because it would be kind of cool if that didn't happen, and then you could just send a bounce in like screen 2 and it goes all the way to screen like 8, and then you just listen to the sounds of it bouncing and then eventually hit the tether once you hear the right sound. That would be really cool. Yep, pretty simple screen. Okay. I like that angle to the up left. It skips one of the tethers. Oh, I'm also curious what a tool-assisted speedrun would look like. So, when one comes out, I might react to that as well. Activate that. Gonna activate that. And you can just make that skip an activation, which usually means a time save because you usually have to activate multiple of them at once, and since they're like a toggling feature, if you skip one of them, you can skip the next one as well. That's cool. Now it's just precision. Kept the butterfly here. Ooh, and you can just go under there. That's cool. I have an extra yellow. And yeah, just making it over. Oh, and you can bounce up there. Another little skip. Looking next to your butterfly, it's gone now. Yeah, it definitely is faster to have the butterfly go as far to the right as possible before teleporting. Found souls. We made it, guys. Now we have teleporters. The colors go to the colors. Pretty simple to understand. Those platforms are surprisingly hard to time. Oh wow, okay, just going to the right. I wonder if the toggles like persist between checkpoints or not. Maybe it'll reset to a default state when you die. But if you stay alive, it's not going to switch back, right? So maybe there are some skips that only are allowed on the first life. That could be kind of cool. There's also a nuance to these butterflies, because if you're right next to a wall, it actually won't let you target the butterfly into that wall or up left or down left. You're on like the left wall. It can be kind of annoying. So you actually need to keep a bit of a distance between you and the wall. You want to do like a cool bounce. Oh, unlucky. Nothing special. I'm just playing the game. Why didn't you use a butterfly? Save some time. Oh wait, it smuggles into this room as well. Well, it's a good thing they had it. You can't skip this? That's weird. Oh, you can skip that one though. Huh. Yeah. Smuggling a yellow here, and you can just skip the whole room. Nice. You want to stop before the green and then skip the green. I do remember that. Nicely done. Yep, gotta use the walls to like line yourself up for those shots. It's probably possible to just do the other side really quickly, but that's pretty precise. But it probably saves a tiny bit of time. You don't need to go back. Big camera zoom out for a cutscene. We made it to the Fount of Souls. That's good. What is Foil doing? Seems we fell down. Okay, so it looks like the in-game time doesn't keep increasing in the menus. You can like pause between chapters if you want. Break. Now it's go time. Big Rogue. Green ones, let's go. I did discover this tech. We can do like the hop. So I wonder if the inputs are the exact same with the yellow ones, because I swear I tried doing it and it didn't work. So I don't know what the difference is. It's also worth noting that the green one sets like a timer for where you can jump on the lava, and that timer starts when you activate green. It doesn't start when you land or anything, so gotta be careful you don't run out of time by activating it too high up in the air. This is also a chapter with cycles. You gotta be careful about these red things. Red lava exhaust like chasing you. So it's a pretty fun section. Is this fast enough? I guess I don't really catch up to you. I think you are slightly faster than them. Why'd you do that? Or you just paused for no reason? Read that again. Did something out of order or something, but saved it, I think, is what just happened. Knows which cycles to pause for, to dodge. I think those ones are fine. Okay, he went directly to the right there and still got the speedrunner boost. What? Oh, was that a yellow one? You can also snap to extend the speed a little bit. This is the geometry dash section. the air friction when holding a direction is kind of weird. So those jumps can be kind of tricky. Yeah, here you gotta wait for that. Clean. On to the next section. This section you can go through these tubes, which are pretty fun. There probably isn't any potential for major skips in these tubes. Unless you're like smuggling some stuff between the tubes so you can skip going through some. We'll see if there's any potential for creativity here. Okay. Doing some skips there by just using the yellow speedrun tech. Skipping a little bit there because you can just simply make the jump. That looks kind of weird, the animation. Left first, then you go right. Down here with speed. Boing. Boing, boing, boing. Boing. Maybe that's how you're supposed to get the Atropa. I remember trying for a while to get that one. Pretty difficult. Time for the chase. I'd be very surprised if you got ate by the chase. That is cool how you can do the speedrun tech through one of those walls. be kind of right next to it though. Whee! That foil's like way off screen. Nice, good snap angle to not touch the ground and lose all your speed. That was a green one entering, and they exited without being able to run on the lava. Because the timer starts when you exit the astral projection state. Invisible ceiling on that. Now we're nearing the end of the speed run, and I'm surprised we haven't seen Mao's double jump be put to use anywhere. Because if you just hit the jump button twice really fast, Mao actually does get extra height on her jump. Like, she literally just jumps twice off the ground. Like, you can just do that. I'm surprised they haven't utilized that anywhere yet. Get like a tiny bit of extra height to make something possible. Maybe I just missed it because it's kind of hard to spot, or they don't know about it yet. Wee! Doing the wee is definitely really fun. Can't wee here because you need the yellow to enter the pipe. I think we made it to the end of the chase. Veiled Chamber. We have 6162 and then 71. That should be it. We're almost done. In this chapter, you have the coral. The coral lets you do 2 tethers in a row, and the way that works is you press and hold, that's your first tether, you release, that's your second tether, and then you have to press the tether button again to actually teleport. That's how that works. You can do a lot of extension plays. Oddly enough, the second tether's anchor point will stay in place and not fall down a little bit like Mao does, except when it's fully extended, and it will start to fall down with Mao. But it'll still treat the tether point as if it was in the original spot, without it falling down. So, weird nuance there with these coral tethers. I also got these water boosts, and since there doesn't seem to be any air friction, you want to jump and prolong this speed as much as you can. No, this guy's your friend. He'll follow you wherever you want to tether. Unless you want to just peace out. snap jump over there. Nice. I think that's the intended strat actually to do that. Pretty sure. And jellyfish. With these coral tethers as well, like the path you take when astral projecting follows the path where the two tethers were. So you can like dip down and come back up while hitting something in between like that, which is pretty useful. Doing a tiny skip there. Get as far to the right as possible while doing the tethers, since you have to do two anyways. Going up here, I guess this is the intended path. Probably could have snapped there and landed on the yellow. Get in and out, like that. So it doesn't look like there's any speedrun tech with these coral ones. It really does just seem like two tethers. You can't really do the Wii like you can with the yellow and green. These rooms can be tricky if you're not going fast enough. Because if you like start your tether too low to the spikes, then it's like almost impossible to get there in time without Mao falling into them. These jellyfish are annoying, especially on respawn cycle because you have to wait for them. Looks like we have to wait for them here as well. Pretty cleanly done though, no deaths or anything. Alright, Veiled Chamber done. Next is the Corrupted Halls. Now we have these monsters trying to attack us. They will kind of charge at you, or they'll just come towards wherever you're tethering. You can go through them in the regular state, but if your astral projection Mao ever touches one, you'll die. But as long as you're playing quickly, it shouldn't be too bad. And since this is a speedrun, you're going like as fast as possible, so they don't really have an opportunity to try and catch up to you. These dark blue ones will actually charge at you instead of just like going towards you. Like they'll dash. So they're a little more deadly, I would say. Of course, not that bad. Upright, 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 and you're good. Wow, juking them there. I think that was a planned angle they went for. Wee wee! That's a good time save. Nicely done. My strat there is definitely just go fast. Yeah, your tethers actually will move faster. Like, not the tether itself, but like setting up the tether will move faster if you're standing on the water. Kind of cool. Maybe you want to try and like stand on water as much as possible. Also, these boxes now, you can trap those dudes. And they actually unlock the way to go, so you have to do that in order to progress. Come here. Thank you. Ow. Oh, barely missed the trap. Oh, doing a retry there to try and reset this guy's position. So I guess they do reset sometimes. Not all the times. Checking the checkpoint, you can go up here already. And I guess that trap you don't need to unlock. So I guess that was somewhere down. Alright. First skip of the section. Just like an order of operations skip. Yeah, just skip all of that. Nice angle, nice angle. Nice snap. Mucky. being an extra core roll and smuggling it too, actually. Doesn't really do much, but it's kind of cool. Wow, this is a beautiful room. Wow, smuggling a yellow and getting the boost. Now we get the most overpowered one. The board. Oh, it made it through? This is a pretty fun section. I do like how it's like she's finally released from her tether, but this is like a dream world. Unlucky. Skipping the cutscene there. I noticed that she doesn't have anything following her, which is interesting. Usually there's like this monster following Mao in this section, but because I guess they skipped the cutscene so quickly, there actually isn't any of that. Okay, just go down there. Pretty easy. Also gotta make sure not to muscle memory release the bird tether. It's like a very muscle memory thing to do since you've been doing that the entire time. Yeah, those lasers that are swinging around won't kill Mao, like Mao's body. It'll only kill the astral projection form. Oh, now we have our friend following us. Look at that. Falling all the way down. Getting over here. Dodged. Oh, get you. It is worth noting that the bird tether is also special in the fact that Mao doesn't like fall slowly while she's tethered. She'll just stay in place, which means you don't have to worry about Mao's body dying at all. You know, we're getting a combination of all the tethers. Juke. Nice rocket jump. Back to foil. Those like past memories of past foil. Also, something I'm noticing about this section is during my playthrough, I was definitely doing some tricks, like doing some crazy jukes and stuff to smuggle birds with me. And I do remember actually saving, like skipping entire sections using the bird, because I would just still have a bird and then it would expect me to do all the like jellyfish and stuff like that, and I just still had a bird, so I could just fly all the way to the end. So I'm surprised they're not doing that. There's definitely some crazy bird like strats you could do to like not untether and keep and smuggle some. So, like that one, I think you can make that, but you have to make it through the barrier without using the last one. Like you have to untether with the second one close enough to the barrier that you can go through it with the third sword. Something like that. Clean rocket jump. Clean speedrun tech. Let's see, 4 more minutes of the run. Some more gameplay. Very flow state over here. Using all the mechanics we've learned so far. Yeah, you totally could have made that. And smuggled the bird. What are they doing? Oh, they skipped it all. Kind of precise. Oh no, the fire can kill your actual body though. Run! 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 Keep running! We made it. Let's go. Almost there. Skip a cutscene. Skip another cutscene. Do a bounce. And time. 10806.33. Cool. So that was the current Tethergeist world record held by Magalore 9000. Make sure to go subscribe and to his channel, 3.35k. Tethergeist speedrun was pretty cool to watch. The only glitch was the definitely the like text box speed in the towns. Like that was really cool. I was not expecting that. 18633. Okay, that's kind of funny how the timer displays like that. It looks illegal, but I guess there's nothing illegal about it. So yeah, uh, the yellow tethers having speedrun tech I was not expecting because I literally tried to do that and couldn't find it. Unfortunate that there wasn't really anything else out of order. Like obviously the peppers and the green also had speedrun tech associated with them, but it seemed like all pretty standard. That that is like a thing with these indie games is that they're usually very well coded and they don't have a lot of glitches in them, which means you have to do everything kind of linearly and intended. But I'm sure as time goes on, the time will go down much further. I think it'll probably be, I think like 45 minutes might be the limit. I don't know. Is there a tool assisted speedrun? I'm just curious whether there is one. I can react to that at a later point. Has Tethergeist Super Slide. Okay, well, let's just watch this. What is this? Super Slide? Oh, this is 2 years ago. This is in the demo. Oh, the tethers look so different. What is like? Why is it going so fast? Wow, I'm surprised the demo 2 years ago looked this good. What was that supposed to be? Hey, okay, so the super slide existed back then, and they never patched it. Interesting. Wee. Ah, that is funny. Former world record 3 weeks ago. .18 seconds. Wow, incredible. What even happened? No description? This is my own video. 418. All right. Yeah, so anything that's 2 years ago. Seems that's it for now. I'll definitely revisit this reaction in a while. If we go back to the leaderboard, we see Megalodor 9000 has it all, and then there actually aren't any runs on her percent and 100%, which is kind of interesting. Like maybe I should throw my hat in the ring. Okay, IGT 2 hours 13 minutes, regular time 2 hours 30 minutes. That was probably just manually inputted. Definitely go by that in-game time. Anyways, that's it for today. See you later.